Hello, sweet friends, and welcome to Southern Ways with Felicia. I am Felicia, and to my returning friends, so glad to have you back. And if you're new, hello and welcome as well. I'm so excited to be sharing this video with you because it is about children books. And I have been collecting children books ever since I was a child. I loved to read when I was young, and one of my favorite shows was Reading Rainbow. And this is one of my all-time favorite children books, The Patchwork Quilt. I love this book. It was one of the first books that I introduced to my own children. And I thought it would be fun, with it being February and Black History Month, to start a children's story time on my channel. So that hopefully will be one of the episodes that I will start sharing with you. As I've mentioned, I've been collecting children's books for a long time, and I particularly love collecting older children books that are not well known, that would have been out when my parents were young. And I discovered that there's so many children books that were out there that I had never heard of, and I thought it'd be fun to share that collection with you. So I'm going to share with you Peter's Wagon. And there's Peter with his wagon. This book was published in 1968. It is a part of the Tiny Tot Tales, and here's a listing of all the titles in that series. The author is Betty, I guess this is Beesterveld. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly, and it's illustrated by Stina Nagel. And so let's get started. Peter liked worms, shells, toys, and old tools. All sorts of interesting things that people did not need anymore. He liked to haul the things home in his red wagon. When the wagon was full, it seemed to sing a happy squeak squeak as it bumped over the cracks in the sidewalk. One day, Peter's mother said, "You must get rid of that junk. It clutters up our basement." "It is too good to throw out," said Peter. "I will sell it." His mother looked at him and said, "All right, but don't bring it home again." So there's Peter with all his stuff. So Peter put the junk back into his wagon and went to Mr. Jack's garage. "Would you like to buy something?" said Peter. "I could use this bicycle horn for a funnel," Mr. Jack said. "I do not have pennies in my pocket. Would you trade it for a muffler?" As if forgetting what his mother said, Peter put the muffler in the wagon. At Miss Martha's, he asked, "Would you like to buy a big stone for a doorstop?" She smiled. "Are 2 pennies a good price?" "Thank you," said Peter. His mother would not care if he had pennies, and he put them in his wagon. At Mr. John's store, Peter sold a jar of worms. Mr. John laughed. "I cannot use them in my store, but my son Joe is going fishing tomorrow." Peter smiled when Mr. John gave him an army canteen. Across the street, Miss Agatha was weeding her flower bed. "Would you like to buy this old flower pot?" asked Peter. "Yes, and I know what you would like," said Miss Agatha. Hurrying into the house, she came back with 2 cookies. "Thank you," said Peter. Then he saw Mr. Arnold mowing his front lawn, and Mr. Arnold said, "I can use this bucket with holes to fertilize my yard." What do you want for it, Peter? Peter looked around as though forgetting of his mother's words. That rake with the broken handle is just the right size for me, said Peter, and Mr. Arnold put it on the wagon. Then Peter called to Mrs. Hart. Would you like a hat to scare birds from your garden? Yes, said Mrs. Hart, and here is a big shell for you. A shell would be all right, thought Peter. So he put it in the wagon. Then Peter whistled a tune as he pulled the full wagon, bump, bump, over the cracks in the sidewalk. It seemed to squeak a merry tune as it rolled along. Oh my, said Peter's mother. We do not have room for those things. Did you forget what I told you, Peter? I did not forget, said Peter. Then he ate the cookies. He put his pennies in his bank. He tied the muffler to his wagon. He hung his rake next to his father's. He put the canteen on his shoulder. The shell he filled with water for the birds. There, he said, my junk is gone. And his mother smiled as Peter pulled his empty wagon bumpity bump along the sidewalk. The end. I hope you enjoyed this reading of Peter's Wagon. If you like this story, please give me a thumbs up. If you read this story as a child, or if you're familiar with Peter's Wagon, please comment below and let me know. And tell me if you like this new corner, Felicia's Storytime. With that, I'm going to say bye-bye, and I hope you have a wonderful day.